To boil down the situation, Red 10 has called out Kinohara, who's a longtime and beloved Arknights artist, of having used AI in their latest art piece. It's important to note that Red 10 is also an artist with less following, and to mention that I don't have a horse in this race. I know surface level stuff about Arknights, and I follow neither of them. Looking at the tweets, Red 10 pretty much said, "You're a hypocrite for saying not to use your art for AI, but you used AI for yourself. And here's an AI detecting website that says so." In which Kino responds, "No, I'm not hypocritical. You're inexperienced, here are 3 more AI detecting websites to prove I'm not." And everyone in the replies clowns on Red 10. If you look at this from afar, it makes complete sense why everyone's clowning on Red 10, and that it's just your average Twitter cancer that really won't warrant a video or any attention from me, really. But he followed up with more points, and that upon closer inspection makes for pretty damning evidence. But of course, he posted the evidence after 12 hours, when everyone's already got an unshakable and solid opinion that Kino's legit. After all, Kino's been drawing for a long time, and I can tell that he's genuinely skilled, which makes me raise my eyebrows even more. Personally, I don't care if Kino used AI or not, since I use AI myself, but I rarely ever post stuff, but I always say that it's AI gen. Kino, on the other hand, has made anti-AI art and has this in his bio. It's just a matter of transparency and being honest with your work, in my opinion. The AI websites themselves are utter BS and can't be trusted, so the only way to actually detect this stuff is through your snout. Now let's look at the art itself. Kind of risque, but this is for education, so I'm willing to take the hit. The thing I'd like to say with AI art is that if you look at it from afar, it looks nice and bypasses most of your senses. But if you look at it with a critical eye, you start noticing lots of odd flaws. Me and the boys have had pics of nights where we just scroll through the website to see if we can catch all the AI art. So you bet your ass I'm a natural at this. Now this is for educational purposes, teaching you how to detect these discrepancies in art. The first thing is the hand on the left side lifting the shirt looks a little odd here, but I guess you could excuse that the size of her, bread is warping the front part of the shirt, which adds more excess, fabric to the back. But the hand on the right side, pulling shirt fabric from what it looks to be like nothing, is kind of inexcusable. Shirts don't really work like that. Next up is the ahoge. Now I did my research on this character, and Whislash has a hat to cover her head, and she doesn't have an ahoge in her latest outfit. And most fan depictions of her don't have one either. You can easily chalk this up to artistic interpretation, but what's curiouser is that the ahoge seems to be missing from the right version of her. Her pantsu here are also asymmetrical, which would be, very uncomfortable, but it still could be chalked up to the artist wanting it to be like that. The buttons here are also asymmetrical, and she has a double eyelid over there. Her hair length is also inconsistent. In the left part, it almost reaches to her waist, and on the picture on the right, it barely reaches her chest. Now, if you remember, Kino posted a Google Drive link of him clearing his art in an AI detecting site. Ironically for him, the picture reveals more flaws. Now it's low res, but the picture of her legs here should really speak for itself, putting the idiom of 2 left feet to the limit. There's also a weird bump here. You could say that it's an ankle ridge, but ankles are way bigger than that. Now all of the mistakes here could be easily excused as the artist making mistakes. Sure, that's totally fine, but looking at Kino's older works, maybe a year or 2 ago, look good and most of it makes cohesive sense. They're quite raunchy, however, and I don't want to risk with even spicier images. I have to say, the art style looks quite different. I know that most people would still defend Kino after this because it makes no sense that he'd lie about this, or why he'd even use AI if he's already a good artist. And honestly, I don't see why he would either, but all of these signs just point to yes. But here's another work from him a month ago if you're still not convinced. Once again, it looks completely normal, right? Until you zoom in on the details. I've done my research on these characters, and here's what I found. 3-fingered Skadi. She could be hiding her fingers behind the others, but absolutely no one holds a fork in the middle of their index finger and their middle finger. Dusk here is holding it properly. If he got it right once, why the hell would he change it? There's also some asymmetry here with Skadi's clothes. In the original summer skin, it's symmetrical. Could still be artistic interpretation though. If you look at Dusk's hair, you can see that the background for the inside of her hair is white and the actual background is beige. If you were to draw with layers, with CSP, or Photoshop in any kind of digital software, this would never happen. Dusk's dress has also seemed to be ripped apart, but there's still a weird piece of clothing here. Kino could have also just made this decision to make Dusk show more skin. Calcit's straps are pretty damn easy to draw, so I have no idea how he messed this one up so badly. And the crystal is completely missing, and so is the white collar. Finally, Modrock's hair diamonds are on the wrong side, but a lot of people mix things up, but the thing is, her originium, I hope I'm saying that right, infection crystals are also interpreted like it's a tattoo or something. Not really sure. Now, after all this, there is reasonable doubt to think that Kino's recent art is AI assisted. Though his motive is still unclear, at least he can see where I'm coming from. I'll say that neither Red10 nor Kino deserve any harassment coming their way, but I want you to come out of this and learn that you should take a closer look at things before dogpiling on the internet. And if that you're going to accuse someone of something, you better open with compelling points because the internet's attention span is extremely short, and people are hasty to make conclusions and they are very slow to change them. That's it from me. I don't make drama videos often, and instead I make videos on video games, anime, and nerd culture, so if you like that kind of stuff, stick around and subscribe. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See ya. Peace.